Picking up 2 big wins in back-to-back weeks. We are currently on a 3-game win streak, which has us level 6-6 come week 13. And with that, we've got a great opportunity. Wild card hunt. We are currently in 6th place above our rival 7th seed Eagles. But hopping over to the other side, you have the Patriots, the current 3 seed of the AFC. And they are our opponent here for week 13. And obviously they've put together a good season. They've played in many close games and they haven't won more than 2 in a row. And it just so happens to be they've won their last 2. But of course, we're no one to talk about close games, with giving up the most amount of points here in the NFL. But we're also tied for 7th most passing touchdowns, and our league average, if not slightly higher, in rushing touchdowns. And we're doing it with having the 2nd most amount of first downs. But we have a tough road ahead of us as we are closing in to the final stretch. So as we head out to Foxborough Gillette Stadium, we look to continue our win streak and keep the Patriots streak at max 2 as the AFC's 3 seed takes on the NFC's 6 seed on Monday night, prime time. Now as we get set to kick this one off, it will be the Patriots with the boot. Gray set back to return. The Giants inside the 5, though, has a little bit of a lane cutting towards the right. Taken down just shy of the 30. As it is Jackson Dart coming out. He's coming off a really big game last week. 3 passing touchdowns, not a single turnover. And that's something this offense is going to need a whole lot more often. As they start with a strong eye, it's Tracy down the middle, falling forward. He picks up a few. As Gonzalez is down on the field, he was involved on that tackle. The most we could do is assume that he happened to get rolled up on. He makes his way to the trainer's table, leaving a 2nd and 6 with a split backfield. Neighbors spread out to the left-hand side. They bring the blitz. Throwing incomplete with the pressure. Looked like Coach Bearington was trying to immediately go after Gonzalez, exiting the field with a deep ball there, but Neighbors not exactly getting open and the blocks not staying open. They've got Johnson here with a well-placed ball and into plus side. Johnson skirts out at the opposite 36. Of course, he's been having a phenomenal season with play action going off of it. Rolling out to the right-hand side, that's Neighbors downfield, spinning off the tackle and out at the 9. Giants yet again flying down the field here in their opening possession. And inside the 10, it's goal to go. Looking for a stretch outside. Tracy has the edge as Gonzalez stepping back in from that injury. Not able to bounce and contain the outside. Tyrone Tracy Jr. with another rushing touchdown on the season. And I think that's something we could all cheers to. Before New England, they're going to need to bounce back strongly here. Obviously, they had their former tight end up ringing that belt, as it's going to be play action there to follow. Drake May able to slip by Sanders, but not by Abdul Carter. For the Patriots, their rookie, starting over at left tackle, has given up already 12 sacks this year. It's been a rough start for him. See if he's able to bounce back in this one, as that pass was nowhere close. Pressure yet again getting to May as the pocket collapsed. 3rd and 19, and everyone playing off here for the Giants. And plenty of time here for May, who will step up. He throws, and he's got Henry for the first down. Giants sitting too far back and off of the receivers. Leaves plenty of space for even Hunter Henry to find his way for 19 plus. There's plays like that are still a problem for the Giants. While they might make some great plays, they inevitably give up some pretty bad ones as well. Broken tackle, and Kendrick Bourne slips the initial tackle. It's another big play here for the Patriots. The drive might have started off rough, but they are now building inside the 30. As they hand it off, Gibson finds space, trucks through Holland. Help arrives there shortly after. A powerful first run for New England. They sub in Stevenson to follow with 3 tight ends right-hand side. May drifting back, looks to roll. He jukes out Bobby Okereke. He's got a lane and takes the contact down to the 2. Patriots 2 yards away from answering the early score of the Giants. But quickly, Dexter Lawrence gets a hit in on Stevenson. Doesn't get the tackle. Help is needed, but they do lose 2. Though this close to the end zone, sometimes a little bit more space helps out the offense as they come out here with trips. Look to the right-hand side, delayed blitz, and airmailing a touchdown. Hunter Henry was open on Holland. Giants tried to send 6 there, and it nearly was costly. 3rd and goal. Thibodeau bouncing back into coverage, and stepping up, Bobby Okereke not getting juked out this time. He brings him down. But 3 yards away from the end zone. They want more than 3 points. Patriots stay out there as they will look to throw the ball here under pressure. Abdul Carter gets another sack, this time solely 1.5 for him on the first drive of the defense. Fans here in Foxborough not too happy about it. He did give a little bit of a shoulder there to May post-play, but no flag comes in, and it's a turnover on downs. Now from there, we will jump forward a little bit. This is the following possession, but inside the second quarter. As May looks to hand off Stevenson, looking for that cut back into Dexter Lawrence. Patriots, they pick up 4 on play 1. At the 38, and they send that ball out quick into the blitz. Holland with the quick tackle there on Diggs. Maybe about a gain of 1 or 2. Once again, Giants have their opponent where they want them. This will be about field goal range, though. For the Patriots, floated outside and broken up. Paulson Adebo with a decision to make. Looks like they are going to pull May off the field. Now their kicker here, a rookie, is just about 70%, and you could see why as he pushes that one wide right. Does take contact there at the end. However, the refs blind to it. Do not flag it. And for the second time here in the first half, that will go down as a turnover on downs with the miss. Offense right back out onto the field here as they will look for the check down. That's Biden in and out of his hands. Davis does a great job there in coverage and not biting on the play fake as well. 2nd and 10. It's Tracy down the middle for 2. You're going to need a little bit more than that here on 3rd. Playing around midfield, it's split backfield. Tracy, though, going to go in motion out to the right-hand side. They will throw his way. He's got green grass in front of him, and he dips out with a gain of about 13. That has become Coach Bearington's favorite screenplay as he leaks out one, screen set up the opposite way, really tests the linebackers as they exit the middle of the field here. Big hit, though, coming down from Peppers. No problem, though, for Tracy. Showing off another first down run to the 29, just inside. They go play action. Pressure immediately is through the middle, so scrambling is Jackson Dart. He's got space, taking contact as he exits the field of play. I guess not quite so much of a high-profile player yet to get some of those calls. If that was Mahomes, half the defense is suspended for 3 games. Tracy, though, on the outside, he spins off of one, nearly having a second rushing touchdown. Instead, goes as just a gain of 8, hard-earned at the 10-yard line, and it's fighting with Gibbons there. Coach Bearington trying to get a little sneaky with a quick fullback handoff. That time does not come through. Has a bunch to the right-hand side here. They will look to flood that way. Robinson gets bumped in the middle, and it looks like that throws off the timing of the route, falling incomplete with Jones in coverage. Patriots fans for now celebrating, but the Giants with Gano will extend their lead. They make it 10-0 here in the first half, and Patriots are currently falling on their own teammates. But feeling a little bit of pressure, and inside 2 minutes to play here, they've worked their way into plus side. Throwing to the flat and dumped by Okereke. They'll have to switch up the running backs the following play here. With a 4-man rush, pass across the middle is open, rumbling down to the 17. It's Kyle Williams, the rookie, with what looked to be an angle route there, or Texas route, depending on where you come from. But the blitz of Sanders timed up perfectly. It's the third sack for the New York Giants here in the first half alone. You could definitely have argued of late that there has not been a whole lot of consistent pass rush. Good to see that here. Timeout was called by New England. They've got two more, and Thibodeau nearly has the fourth. That does provide a 3rd and 16. Giants gave up a 3rd and 19 earlier this half. I'm sure the Patriots would love that to happen again. With a pass downfield, broken up double coverage, Adebo and Holland. Intended for Kendrick Bourne. Before the Patriots, it does have them inside field goal range here at least to try to get on the board this half. And this time it is an accurate kick from the rookie. Make it 10-3 here with just about 20 some odd seconds left in the half. And we have seen this Giants team pull off some big plays in crunch time. As coach sends them out onto the field, they'll have 26 seconds starting at the 26. As they do look to go to the air here, it's thrown against the grain. And it is Robinson close to the first down, but he does go out of bounds just beforehand to the 35, 2nd and inches. Patriots sitting everyone deep. Dart will just take that as an invitation to slide downfield to the 44, just outside of field goal range, and they got 15 seconds, 2 timeouts. At some point, you got to imagine that defenses are going to become aware of this and stop giving up so much space. With a split backfield here, they do hand that ball off. It's Scattaboo. He finds space, spinning off of a couple more hits, and they will call a timeout with 1 more remaining, 8 seconds to play with. And typically, you got to think of about 6 seconds as your window of play time. So you got a little bit of time to try to take some shot downfield. That's exactly what we see here. Thrown across the middle, and they do actually find Johnson just in front of the waiting linebacker, calling that final timeout. I'm sure Coach Bearington will have a word with his quarterback, though, on a risky throw. But for now, it's Gano, putting us back up by 10 as we hit halftime. Currently, the NFC's 6th seed is on top of the AFC's 3 seed on Monday Night Primetime, 13-3. This game has been well in hand for the Giants, but in their previous couple games, they've let that slip away. I'm sure that's going to be on the frontmost side of Coach Bearington's head. But let's take a break from our game. Look around the league. With a throw outside, slipping the tackle, the Broncos would find themselves way up on the Commanders, who have slid far here these last handful of weeks. They are now 4-8, dropping at 31-16 to the Broncos at home. Meanwhile, the Chargers, they're closing in at 500. Raiders trying to stay above it. And it's going to be a toss to Genty. Around the 20-yard line, he takes it, and a hurdle coming from the man over the top of the Chargers for a 34-13 win. As for the final studio update we have for you, Bills, they are far below 500 here, 4-7 versus the 6-5 Steelers. And it's not going to help with Aaron Rodgers ripping one to the back corner and a one-hand backhand snag that puts them just over Josh Allen, 21-18. But as we look to get back to Foxborough, you get the second half underway, and the Patriots already have themselves plus side. Breaking the tackle of Okereke, Stevenson rumbling, bumbling for 13. The running game for the Patriots has been rather hit or miss, not in success, but in the play calling. They primarily look to pass the ball. Looking to get the running backs involved here early in the second half. Now you find Stevenson out of the backfield. Gibson checks in to follow with motion across. And finding somehow that ball, it will be Hunter Henry through a kerfuffle down the middle. They find themselves now inside the 15 with an option for a first down prior to the end zone. Henry taken down at that marker, just about the 1-yard line. It was an awkward tackle. It's a good thing he was able to pop up. They do bring in Stevenson, a bit more of a power back. They go play action his way. Line holds up well, and it is the rookie drawing this game within 3. Kyle Williams, one-on-one there with Paulson Adebo. able to just step up and pluck it away from him. He thought he might have had an angle for the interception, but he played it too far back. For New England, that was the exact start they needed here in the second half. Giants trying to answer with their opening possession, and they have it plus side of the 46 with a fresh set of downs. Tracy bursts through the gap. He's got another gain of about 15, averaging 7.2 yards a rush in this one with 10 carries, 72 yards. Dart has them going a little bit of hurry up here, trying to quickly quiet down Foxborough. Dart, though, flipping those hips, and he goes way back for a loss of 14. It looked like he tried to reverse field and looked to throw the ball away, but he never had time. Christian Barmore was on him almost off the snap. And that's where there's still work to do here with this Giants team. Obviously, they've come a long way. Schmitz Jr. moving over to guard. Illuminor, more of an elder now here for offensive lineman, has slotted over to right guard. They've got an option downfield, but it's almost a pick from the D lineman and Williams. And they've got to feel extremely lucky about that because they had Johnson wide open downfield. Ball never quite got his way, and it's going to be third and now 24. As I look to set up a screen, it is out to Tracy. The couple blockers in front, getting a little shifty out there to the 37. That does put him in about field goal range. Obviously, you were looking for a touchdown, and it was looking promising until that massive sack. So Gano here from the left hash booms the kick just enough to cross that crossbar. And it is 16-10 here as we head to the fourth quarter. What a way to finish off the third. In a tight game here between the battle of different shades of red, blue, and white. For whatever small percentage it may be, could be a Super Bowl preview. As once again, Patriots are plus side of the 37, just about where we kicked our field goal from. They've got Diggs underneath, taking a bit of an awkward sandwich there in the tackle. He picks up 5. They will go right back to it here quickly. And throwing downfield, and once again, it's Williams plucking that ball away from potential turnover throws. He's got to feel ecstatic about this young man and the fact that the defense are kind of playing a little bit flat-footed if they attack that ball. That was a huge opportunity as they bring the blitz here. May trying to escape, but will not get away entirely from Bobby Okereke. Chased down after a gain of 2. I don't know what's happening out there right now, but some sort of weird interaction between the two. It does still leave that 2nd and 8. Referees just letting them sort it out. At the 15-yard line, the Patriots once again go back to the air with a lofted throw, staying in bounds, breaking the tackle. Bobby Okereke again with a tackle. He's having to play sideline to sideline right now just to help out his defense make the play. Patriots, in the meantime, they're very close to finding their first touchdown lead, but McFadden with the shoulder picks up the 4th sack of the game. Patriots drop 1st and goal. That backs them up on the other side of the 5 to the 7. The 2nd and goal. I formation here for the Patriots. They do look to go back to the air. May missing wildly that time. Didn't look to be much pressure. However, the Giants have brought a lot of blitzes here today. 3rd and goal. And it's empty set here for the Patriots. Gotta imagine they will look to pass this ball. And just evading coverage. Looked more like the coverage backed away from Hunter Henry. With the PAT, that will have the Patriots in front 17-16. And closing out these fourth quarters has been a big issue for this Giants team, even throughout their win streak. They need to have the same outcome today if they want to end above 500. Cam Scattaboo, he breaks through the line this time. He's got 12. Play 1 to the 32. For him this year, runs like that have been far in between. Not really necessarily due to his own issues, but the line has not blocked as well for him as for Tracy, who's in the backfield here. Throwing out his way, but broken up. Looked like Dart wanted to find Robinson downfield down the sideline, but it was just covered well. So he opted to check it down, and instead we got 2nd and 10. This time it's Robinson, but it's broken up. With back-to-back throws defended here by the Patriots, we already have ourselves a 3rd and 10. Though the hard count there of Dart makes it 3rd and 5. Deion White jumps early. The Giants will change up their look then with a 3rd and 5. Split backfield here with Dart. As he looks to roll to the right-hand side. Throws this one to Cameron Scattaboo. He's got the first down. Not much extra. Honestly, at this point in the game, you don't want too much extra. You would be more than happy to drain the remainder of this clock, kick a field goal, and walk out of Foxborough with the dub. As Dart flips the hips, he throws here, trying to keep himself a little bit cleaner. It's fighting with 2. Just as we've talked about Bobby Okereke flying around, Gibbons has done the same here for this Patriots defense. We've called his name quite a few times. You look to run it here. Tracy can't bounce off the one defender. That takes us inside the 2-minute warning. Looked like Tracy did have a gap, but it's 3rd and 7 here with 2 down in the backfield. 2 out to the right-hand side. Johnson to the left, and again, Dart. He's been working on that bark, and it is paying off out there. Extra gain of 5 courtesy of Milton Williams. And the Giants keep an eye for him here. Tracy dotting said eye. They go his way, close, but marked 4th and inches. Barmore with a good push up front. And obviously the Giants going nowhere here. Coach Bearington known for being aggressive. Goal line set, and Dart has enough for the first down here inside 2 minutes. They do, however, look to go a bit hurry up off that play. Getting quickly set back up here, though they are going to flip it, fighting out to the right-hand side. They bring the big backup tackle to fullback. And it's Cameron Scattaboo cutting the other way. He's got a gain of 10 to the 35. They are inside field goal range. Patriots now calling their timeouts. Of course, they have 2 more remaining. With 1:14 on the clock, they find themselves up by 1 point. Back to Cam Scattaboo here. He's down the middle for the first down. Second timeout called. 1:11 left here in Foxborough. I don't imagine we're going to see anything crazy here. Another run down the middle. Calling that final timeout. Fullback love action. It's fighting down to the 23. With no more timeouts here, you could simply line it up for a go-ahead shot. Let that clock run down. With just a 3-man front, Patriots are inviting it. Cameron Scattaboo. Scatta smacked in the backfield, setting up 3rd and 2. They will let this clock roll on down. So they do still have some time to kill here. So the offense out there for 3rd and 2. Down to 1, they snap that ball. Cameron Scattaboo right down the middle. And now with 4th and 1, they'll let that clock run down to about 3 seconds and call their timeout. Another nerve-wracking finish here for the Giants. But they do have it teed up, and Gano will send it down the middle. 19-17 is your final score here of Monday night primetime action. The Giants extend their streak to 4. And for the Patriots, they still have yet to put more than 2 wins together in a row. Giants very much continuing their push here in the second half of the season to make the NFL playoffs. And that win puts them just 1 step closer. And the good news for these boys is that it is a rest week after. And overall, it's a pretty clutch time to have a bye week, week 14, before you head into your final 4 games. Before Coach Bearington, he's got work to do, a little bit of some draft prep here, taking a look at some possibilities. And unfortunately, the top left tackle in Eric Fitzsimmons, not exactly looking to pan out. While it does look like he has some really solid attributes as an athlete, he seems to be slipping in some key areas. The run block power and pass block power is a major concern. With a lack of stamina and injuries, he was projected round 1, but a lot of GMs are now thinking he might be a little bit more of a round 2 to 3. There are other options for offensive line, and that is an area that Coach Bearington has talked about. And with Tyree Short, once again, you have a good athlete here. You just don't have all the information you're looking for, but what you do know is pretty promising. And Coach even has his eye on a couple potential undrafteds at linebacker like Trevor Gray. 6'1", 226. We obviously have a couple of older linebackers mixed with some younger. There's a decent bit of athleticism here for Gray. But what does seem intriguing is the intangibles. With B awareness, B stamina, and you even tack on top of that the B-man coverage. It's promising for a young linebacker. But outside of potential draftees, we have to start negotiating with some players. And right now, unfortunately for the Giants, a lot of the guys that they would love to keep around simply don't have much interest. And I think one of those guys would be Wan'Dale Robinson, who's a 79 overall, 24 years old, will be 25 next year, a star dev. And top of the depth chart looks good for us. Head coach win percentage right now isn't too bad, 54% with Coach Bearington, but there isn't a mentor at this position. Because of that, he seems a little bit iffy. He doesn't want to be called the old man, but he's still someone we would love to keep around. However, we don't have a whole lot of cap to work with here, 32, and that is pre-off season. But coach knows that he's helped out this team. He will bump up the bonus offer and put $8.5 million for each of 3 years on the table. And that'll be enough to get our first extension done under Coach Bearington. And with a lot of these guys still unsure if they want to stay around, and with Coach Bearington even unsure if he wants to keep them around, that's the only deal he plans on making this regular season. But with a rivalry game quickly approaching, this bye week was more than just getting future things set up. It's about getting things set up now. And while our scouts are coming in and saying, I think it's a pretty balanced matchup, we feel like our defense can set the edge here for us. And we're going to challenge them. We need to force mistakes with Jaden Daniels. Get him scrambling around, get him off kilter. And with that, take a few passes the other way. In team meetings, Tyler Nubin was calling himself out, saying he's ready to not only get an interception, but take one back to the house. It's a lot of talk, but this team can get the job done. And with the Commanders going 3-1 over their last 4, we feel pretty positive that our 84 defense can take it to their 88 offense. So as we take it to the field back in New York, technically New Jersey, the Giants host the Commanders in a late season NFC East battle, pinning the current 7th seed versus the current 11th seed. All the Commanders want to do is blow up our hope. We just got to make sure we don't allow that as we look to kick things off here in MetLife. It's NFC East underway. For the good return and falling forward through the Scattaboo tackle to the 28. Sends out our defensive target today in Jaden Daniels. 19 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. We look to add a few to the bad column with the quick pressure. McFadden opens up the game with a 3-yard TFL. I don't even think Robinson took that ball out of the hands of Daniels entirely by the time he was getting wrapped up. As Daniels does look to go to the air, he's got an open target, and Terry McLaurin goes down without taking the hit. Before Washington, that's a good answer, picking up a first down after a bad opening play. Play action here, Bobby Okereke sent himself late. Paulson Adebo not able to wrap up Robinson. He needs help from McFadden. Overall, ends up being a good play there for the Commanders, picking up 5 yards on first down. Now keeping it, that's going to be Daniels leaking out weak side and again avoiding contact. Well, we may have had the first play. The Commanders have had every play since to the 36. They go back to the air, airmailing that one to Ertz. Josh Cornerly, he'll hit the deck for making his way to the sideline. 2nd and 10 here for the Commanders following an injury to one of their offensive linemen. At the 36 here, Daniels goes across the middle. This time he finds Ertz. Taken down pretty quickly with a tackle there from Bobby Okereke. It sets up a 3rd and 4. Bringing the blitz. Throws open. That's going to be Deebo Samuel inside the 15. For the Giants, they're just not quite getting enough pressure early here on Daniels. He's able to find his targets rather easily. Robinson on the carry. He's got 3 to the right side as a second Commanders offensive lineman goes down. This time it's Wiley. He will join his teammate over on the sideline, and now that's 2 backup offensive linemen in here. If you can't get pass rush at this point, I don't know what you're doing. Good news, it shows up via a run stuff. Asante Samuel Jr. and company there with the TFL and forces a 3rd and 10 here at the 12. Daniels, though, empty set. And airmails another one that gets Singletary lit up. Actually, check that. That was Terry McLaurin. And for us, it was Newman who said he wants that pick 6. That time he lit up one of the receivers from the opposition. Field goal attempt, though, is good. Commanders with a strong opening drive, kind of falters. Zerline definitely got hit as he kicked that ball. Should have been a free first down. It is back-to-back games where the Giants have gotten away with that. But it's over to the Giants offense for their turn to try to answer. As they start at the 28, it's 29, right down the middle, a awkward hit. Looked to be right on the chin coming from the blind side. Whether it's for an actual injury reason or not, Cameron Scadaboo is going to check in. And he's got the first down, bouncing off a couple weak tacklers. Good to see him with a nice strong gap over to the right-hand side there. He hasn't always gotten the best blocking from this offensive bunch. With a play action off of it, rolling, throwing, and dart misses the contract extended Robinson. When he's making $8.5 million a season, we cannot afford to be missing that, at least for now. He's a little bit cheaper. Big block Titman, but the Commanders, they fly in from the opposite side. Nowhere to go there, 2nd down and already a 3rd and 10. And across the middle, Neighbors with the grab. Dart this time buys the time to hook up with his number 1 receiver and looks to go hurry up off of it here, trying to get the Commanders perhaps on a back foot. Everyone's set up with the same look. Dart keeps it, and perhaps maybe this time he shouldn't have. Those read options not quite working like they used to in college. At the 41, it's a loss of 2, and it's 2nd and 12. They go a little bit of an RPO this time, and unfortunately, Payne is right there. Another loss. They go backwards 2 straight plays. Gotta like Coach trying to mix in some different play calls, but ultimately, you got to pick up something on those calls. 3rd and 13 with a split backfield. And they do send Tracy out wide, sending it his way to the 37. It is inside field goal range, and both teams will have to settle their opening drive. Gano short. This is the 2nd time this year he's had near perfect accuracy, but you could have substituted a little bit of accuracy with a bit more leg strength. And at home, that keeps you down here, 3-0 to a division rival. Deebo Samuel on the carry. He gets outside with great blocking downfield. Holland and Phillips eventually take him down after 25 yards. Gotta wonder if some of the college playing there from Coach Bearington inspiring this here from the Commanders. They keep Deebo back there as they go to him on a screen. He's got 8 more. That takes us to the end of the first quarter here. Giants, for the first time in a few weeks, they're playing on their back foot here out the gate. They've got to step up here, especially at home, and keep that win streak alive. Coming into this one, they were already the last seed in the playoffs, even after winning last week. So they need a little bit of a spark, and their former teammate sparks off the start of the 2nd quarter with another big run for their opposition. Singletary as the Commanders set up with a goal-to-go situation at the 9. Daniels under duress. This time it's the rookie Alexander with a TFL. We could really use with him picking up play here. Dexter Lawrence is going to pick up double teams pretty much every snap. Flipping this one outside. Deebo chopped down by Deebo. The Commanders nearly found themselves up here by 10. Defense trying to stand at about the 1. Quarterback keeper Thibodeau is on top of it. They will force another field goal attempt. And for both teams, it's a failed read option on back-to-back drives. At the 4 here, right hash. But that one is good, and without contact made to the kicker. But feeling some pressure here, we jump forward a little bit into the next drive. Inside 4 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. We are plus side. Pressure, though, quickly gets through the left side of the line. Dart has to just let it fly to the sideline. Seems like some more developing plays might not be what we're looking for here against this Commanders front. They hand this ball off, and it's a big hit. Bobby Wags. Yet again, Giants, they're going to be faced with another 3rd and long here. At the 44, they need 11. Split backfield. They're going for the screen. Got a couple blockers out in front for Tracy. And he's got the first down. Stretching out. There's a reason he leads all the NFL in receiving yards for running backs. He's come up clutch time and time again. As Dart flips those hips, he looks to get out to the left-hand side here. Pick up a block there from Cameron Scattaboo and dipping out at about the 14-yard line. If you're not going to let him sit in the pocket, he will look elsewhere. Quick throw. That's Neighbors inside the 2. And will move us inside the 2-minute warning. Giants with a slow first half here, but trying to finish it off strong. Looking for a lead here. At the 2-yard line, they run it weak side. They gain about half a yard there at most. But in a way, I'm sure you're also just fine with that as it lets this clock roll on down. Dart barking out a few calls there. Play clock down inside 5. Cameron Scattaboo. Wagner back again. 3rd and goal with a loss of about a yard and a half at the 3. That's exactly what we've been talking about not getting the best blocks for Cameron. He's off the field here with an empty set for Dart. Snapping that ball, spread out to the left side is Tracy for the touchdown. He holds on through Bobby Wagner's attempt to rip it out of his hands. And with the PAT, that will put the Giants on top here right before halftime. We may not be done with this half yet. Commanders to midfield here, and they still got timeouts to spare. The check down here, that is Ertz by the 40. They call their first timeout. In the last 4 games for the Giants, they have led going into halftime. They don't make a big play here. That will not be the case. Deebo Samuel going to go in motion. Around the edge, here comes the big sexy Dexy with help from Asante Samuel Jr. Pushes them back to the 45. It has been too long since we've got to call his name on a sack. He's been getting double teamed, sometimes even triple teamed. Thibodeau tried to work his way around the edge there. They just find Deebo with a short dump off. That does save some time, 13 seconds with a 3rd and 15. Play action, and it's Dexter Lawrence swatting it down in Daniel's face. Defense stands just before halftime. And this time, we mean just before halftime. At the break, it is 7-6, a close divisional battle here between the New York Giants at home, hosting the Washington Commanders, 7-6. We'll let both those teams catch their breather as we try to catch up on the rest of the league. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're flying high at the top, but it's the Falcons flying high almost over the top. A tough grab there, but ripping it away and running the Falcons to victory. Michael Penix Jr. with 4 touchdown passes. That time, he finds McLeod. That only helps us out with the Buccaneers losing. Philadelphia 5-8, hosting the Raiders 8-5. But it's Jalen Hurts handing this one off Saquon Barkley, cutting to the outside at about the 22, and from there he would go down to the 2 and shove the Raiders defender into the end zone. At half, they are up 1 possession, 21-13. As for the Patriots, the team we just took down, they're 8-5, facing the 5-8 Buffalo Bills, a surprisingly poor season for the Bills. But on this play, Allen will roll towards the top. Linebacker looks to have an angle, but no, you don't. It's a touchdown for Allen, has them on top 14-10 at the break. But as we return to East Rutherford, Coach Bearington getting his Giants hyped up as they do start the second half with possession. Well, they face a tough down out the gate. On their own side, the 36-yard line. It's 4th and 4, and the offense is out there. Dart tries the hard count there once. No one jumps. He tries it twice. No one jumps, and then he snaps that ball. He throws right side. He's got Neighbors for the first down to the 48. Talk about risking it there for the biscuit, and you just got that biscuit. At the 48-yard line, split backfield. They go with a split screen option and a great open field tackle. For the first time maybe all season long, Someone catches up with a groove there, and it's a loss of 1. They keep, though, with that split backfield. It's Cameron Scattaboo. He picks up the lost yardage, plus a little bit extra. 3rd and 8. You got to make sure you keep this opening drive alive. A fantastic opportunity here to extend your lead. They try the hard count this time. There's a lot of movement over on the right-hand side, and they unfortunately will get one of the New York Giants O-linemen. That puts them on the other side, then, of the 50 at the 48. With a strong I formation, they need 13 yards here. Pressure, though, building. Dart flips the hips, tries to find somewhere to go, and he will find Neighbors on a comeback. A terrific job there from Dart, just keeping the play alive and hope someone would get open, and eventually he just let it rip to his young, rising star of a receiver. Stepping up here, he tries to find some space to the outside. Dart with some wheels, but cannot outrun Clark. Will go as a gain of 9, and you've got to wonder if Coach Bearington is going to call something here that keeps Dart clean. Taking a couple hits on back-to-back plays, but his own fullback runs into him, and it blows up the whole play. Looked like they tried to set up a little bit of a weak dive, but it was a weak dive. Needing 3 yards here. Tracy gonna motion out. They do still throw it out to him, and this time he's got blockers in front. He slips one, and it's a first down to about the 13. Giants coming up with ways to just keep this drive moving. They come out with a weak eye to follow. Dart looking like he's trying to get the offense set up here. The 13-yard line. A whole lot of pre-play action for a smack. That's the second time today Wagner has done that to Cameron Scattaboo. A little bit of a welcome to the league moment. As this time it's a throw. Robinson has it. He's got them down to the 4. Setting up a 3rd and just a hair over 1. Tracy dotting the I here. As they run right at Bobby Wagner, spinning through is Tracy for the touchdown. We might have been league average in rushing touchdowns before we started here today, but we are climbing up that board with yet another one for the running backs, who are doing dual duty with this offense, both on the ground and through the air. But after a good couple back and forth drives that went nowhere, we jump to just inside 7 minutes of the 4th quarter. As this is going to be Robinson on the outside, ripped down by Phillips. While the defense has very much struggled this year, giving up points and giving up points in the 4th quarter. That's a great way to get us started. We need them to come through this time. In an 8-point ball game, Daniels taking his time to pre-snap here. Throwing underneath, Debo, chopped out at the knee by Bobby Okereke. That hit almost looked personal between those two. The 3rd and 6, Bobby comes on the blitz, providing pressure, forcing Daniels to bail, and it's a short throw short of the line to gain, 4th and 3. But in the 4th, they might keep the offense out there. Or perhaps the Commanders won't look to risk it here yet. Way will punt that one away. Trailing out of bounds, will take over at the 18. With 5:12 to play with, this is where we need the offense to shift down in gears. Slow the game down, milk some clock. But at the same time, keep the pedal to the metal. It's a lot to ask, but we need it all here. Up 14-6. It's Tracy, unable to hit the edge. A great job, though, from Frankie Louvu on keeping the edge well contained. It's loss of 1 there on 1st down. Giants are letting that clock run. Tracy can't get out from behind Tippmann, and he just goes back to the line of scrimmage. With the blocking set up as it was, you had to imagine that was going to be a gain of at least 5, not nothing. 3rd and 11. Neighbors comes in short motion left-hand side. They look to bring the blitz. They've got Neighbors, but the pass is just off the mark as Dart got hit as he releases it. That's going to have to be a punt. And for the Commanders, their risky choice in not going for it on that 4th down ends up paying off. They just lose a little bit of time. McLaurin here on the quick drag. He gets 7. And it's a 2nd and 3 at the 48. Daniels again happened to go back to the air here. Open target is nearly an interception. He threw it in line with where his running back was going, but if he kept it a little bit more to the left side, it would have been wide open for the 1st down, and if not, a whole lot more. McLaurin, a whole lot of pre-snap movement, Line shifts with it, but firing the ball, it's to Deebo Samuel. Commanders, they're playing a lot of their throws short. It's one of the safest things to do here, but it's low risk, low reward situation. Daniels, though, this time he uncorks it downfield, and this time it's a deep pass completion to McLaurin. For Tyler Nubin, who before this game said he was going to get a pick six. We have not called his name yet. Singletary looking to get outside. He bounces off of Banks. Help arrives with Dexter Lawrence and company and sends us through the 2-minute warning. Of course, the Commanders, they need a touchdown and they need a 2-point conversion. It's been the same story 3 weeks in a row here for the Giants as they give up the first down by mere inches. Now the Commanders want to make sure they have it right, so they do call a timeout and send out a spread look to either side versus the 52 defense. Daniels will skirt by McFadden, and he's got the touchdown. But yet again, they need the 2-point conversion. So in a 12-14 ball game, yet again here late in the fourth, we're down to 2-point try. As Daniels dances around, Nubin cannot get the tackle. He had him deads to right at the 2. But he slips it and completes the 8-point play. And yet again, the Giants will have time here. 140 and some change to try to find the go-ahead points. If the offense was just able to move their ball on the previous drive, we might not be in this situation. But instead, we start back at the 26 with that split backfield. Again, they send it out to Tracy. Never mind, Cam Scattaboo on the true halfback screen. The Orbits, at least for now, doing enough here for the Giants. Now, they do have 3 timeouts, not electing to call one here prior to this play. As they throw underneath, that's Neighbors. He's got about 7. We already know where Gano needs to be. The 41 is his sweet spot, though he has missed on occasion from close to that range. Throwing underneath, that's Robinson taking a big hit at the 44. And already the Giants are about at their spot. Continuing with the hurry up here, moving inside 40 seconds, it's Biden ripped down at the 44, no gain. And now Coach Bearington calls his timeout, first of 3. Now, running down the middle has not necessarily been easy work today for the Giants, but that's about where they need to go. At the 44, single back, and it's Tracy with a little bit of a lane. He cuts down the middle, bounces off of 1, shoved backwards, but to the 38. Now, they will let that clock run on down to 8, calling their second timeout. They could still run a play to get this one lined up how they want it. With a 3rd and 4, you don't expect them to do anything but that. And with only 3 down linemen, Commanders are back in prevent defense here. A strange call for Cameron Scattaboo to just follow his blockers. And they'll call that final timeout with 2 seconds to spare. Though the Commanders very well could look to ice Gano here. And indeed they will. Now, Gano has had a couple kicks missed by just not enough distance. Accuracy has not been a problem and will not be a problem here today. Another 4th quarter late game comeback from the opposition that forces a field goal from the Giants to win the game. 17-14, while we are obviously climbing up here in the NFC into playoff positioning. We are doing it by just the smallest fraction. And if those fractions happen to flip the opposite way, we would probably be sitting around 3 to 4 wins at this point in the season. So there is still a lot of work to do, but you've got to be happy with where this team's at. And while we know this team is hungry for the playoffs, 8-6 come week 16. Decision day is not yet here, but will be here next time. As we not only will go through the next 2 games, we will get through the remainder of the regular season. And as we are currently tied in record with the Cowboys, however, not above them in terms of half games, as we did drop our games to them. We faced them in week 18. Right now, not only do we have the wild card at play, we have division winner at play, reigning NFC East champion. But even with that, there's still a lot of work ahead of us. So make sure you are here for it by hitting that bear icon on the bottom right or scrolling down, hitting that sub button and tapping that bell icon so you get notified of when all these videos go live. And if you missed out yesterday, it wasn't baseball. It was Kent State. We're changing things up a little bit here. So Kent State will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We are sticking here Tuesday and Thursday. We're rocking all football for at least football season. We might come back to baseball, ramping up to the next season. Well, there's a lot happening right now, a lot of big games for both teams. Make sure you're showing them some love by smashing that thumbs up and showing Coach Bearington your support. It might have been rough out the gate, but he's got this Giants team hungry. And even if these wins are narrow, a win is a win in the NFL, and it has us in playoff positioning. We'll see you next time as we've got the Vikings, the Raiders, and the Cowboys.